Well, hello, hello, hello. Is anybody there? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? I know I wasn't here last week. Last week I was at the retreat, a retreat. So I couldn't make it. This week I didn't know if I was going to make it because I was out finishing up my shop hub. Didn't know if I was going to make it home in time, but I did. There's somebody here. There's one little person in my eye up there. One eyeball watching. Hello, whoever you are. Now we got two people in the little eyeball up there. Sherry's here. Sherry's one of the two people. Jennifer must be the other one. Jennifer and Sherry. Did you see what we're going to make? I know I just posted the thumbnail because I really just got home like 20 minutes ago. Got home, made the thumbnail, scheduled the live, put the dogs out to go to the bathroom. Dale was nice. He poured me something to drink. That was nice of him. Let's see what else. Gathered up all my supplies, cleaned off my table. I've been busy for 20 minutes, scooting around. Hi, Carrie. How's Carrie? So I'm here. And I'm ready to make this cute little ghost kitty thing. So if you watched my video about the retreat, you'll know that I crocheted a ghost. Cute little like Casper ghost. It was actually pretty big. It was actually good size. And I sold it at the retreat. Hello, Stacy. Making a star blanket. Nice. I want to do one of those so bad. So I made it and sold it. Right, hot off my hook. Just sold it, just like that. So I made another one. They take a little bit of time. They're easy to make, but they take a little bit of time because of their size. There's a lot of rounds. Super cute. But I want to make this little ghost kitty. It's going to be smaller. I think it's going to be adorable. I wish I had the eyes like they have. They have like eyes with like white spots in them. I really like those. And I thought maybe I had some in all of my safety eye collection here, but I do not. I think I have noses. I'm getting, yeah, see, that's a nose, right? That's a nose, not an eye. I knew I had something with white on it, but that's not it. That's not what we want, okay? So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how big it turns out, and then I need smaller eyes, which is weird. I've been adding to my larger eye collection. Here's my smaller ones. I'm running out. See, look at the holes there. I need that size, whatever it is. 10, 8, I don't know. But I really have not had a use for these great big huge ones right there. I've not had a use for those. Well, anyhow, we'll see how big this turns out and what eyes I have that might work on it. That's the plan. Okay? Sorry, I'm just eating some cookie because I had no lunch. I snacked on pretzels from shop to shop. I only did 3 shops today. Yeah, 3. And 2 of them were difficult. They were difficult because parking. One was in East Lansing. East Lansing parking is always ridiculous. And the ramp was full. They got a ramp right across from the yarn store, and it was full. So then I'm driving around. I'll talk later. Let's get into this ghost. So the pattern for this little ghost kitty, it's all on one page. See, it's right here. It's all on one little page. It's a little blurry. But we're gonna, what happens if I go to this? Oh, I can go to a different site. Let's see. Is it gonna take me to a video? I don't want a video. No. What do we got? Same one little sheet of paper. One little sheet of paper, but it's blurry. It's not bad here. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. I love the little ghost. The ghost turns out so cute. Anyhow, and I got things to do this evening to get ready for tomorrow morning. Because tomorrow morning we pack up and we go to the craft show. My allergies, you'll have to forgive me. My allergies are out of control. Hi, Sean. Allergies have gone nuts over the last couple days. My eyes are watering. I have a hard time keeping them open. Try doing that when you're driving down the highway for about, 30 minutes. So yeah, my allergies are going crazy. My nose will just drip. It just drips. And I sneeze and I sneeze and I sneeze, and then my nose will just drip and I blow my nose. I've taken everything I can think of that I have. I've taken a decongestant, which I'm not really congested because it's just dripping out. But I've taken a decongestant. I've taken my Allegra. I even did Flonase spray up my nose earlier. I'm like, it's ridiculous. And it's just that time. When people talk about fall, oh, fall is my favorite season. It's so cozy and, fires and, and like, no. Fall has no use for me in my life. Everything's dying, which I don't like. All my pretty plants are dying. And then there's something in the fall. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's out there, what plant, whatever. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if it's harvesting even, because they're harvesting beans like crazy. I don't know what it is, but fall is horrible. I mean, I have my allergies from spring through fall, but spring and summer are better. They're not horrible like this. This is like can't keep your eyes open kind of allergy situation. You know what I mean? It's bad. Anyhow. Okay. Well, let's explain what we're working with. This is the skinny chenille stuff. This one is skinny chenille. There's another one that Michaels has too. It's called something else. It's not called skinny chenille. But this one truly is skinny chenille. Anyhow, so it's a 4-weight. So it's kind of fine. It's a little, plushy yarn situation, a little chenille yarn. It's really nice. It doesn't shed. It's easy to work with. Easy to see your stitches. So we got that. We got scissors. We got a needle. Got a stitch marker. And I have changed the hook I've been using. I had been using a 3.75 on this stuff. And I found that it was still a little too holy. So I've gone down to a 3.5 on this, using this yarn. So that's what we're going to work with today. We're going to give it a go. And we're going to see what happens. All right. So as with all good amigurumi, or should I say most amigurumi. Look, we're tangled already. We're knotted. We are knotted here. Knotted. I hope I don't have a sneeze attack here because that won't be fun. Anyhow, I took my own box of Kleenex with me. Just took a whole entire box of Kleenex. Oh, gosh. Okay. What are you doing? Where's my pattern? There it is. We start with a magic ring. Okay. I watched somebody do a magic ring the other day. And what did they do? I always go like this and loop around. You know what I mean? So you go under here and pull this up. And that's how I make my magic ring. But somebody the other day just did this weird, interesting. It was almost like they just did a slip knot. Like they wrapped it around their finger and they went like this. They just wrapped it around their finger like they're going to make a slip knot and pulled this up, pulled up that back loop. And they really just had a slip knot, and they started working into a slip knot. I was like, okay, well, I guess it works. I mean, all it is, it's an adjustable ring that you can tighten up after you put stitches into it. That's all it is, right? So, yeah, you do you, however you do you. You know what I mean? And, yeah, make an adjustable ring. Okay. In our adjustable ring, we are going to make 6 single crochets. This is such a typical amigurumi pattern, They all kind of start this way. Well, not all. Some start with 8. Depends on what you're doing. So there's 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Okay? How do I get you to see what I'm doing? Oh, no. Cancel. I don't want to leave. I touched something. No, I don't want to do that. Cancel. Yeah, a magic ring is really just an unfinished slip knot. It really, truly is, Sean. So however you make it, you do the slip knot style. See? Okay, yeah. Whatever works. Hi, Deborah. Right, so I got my 6 single crochets, and then you pull that tail, close it up. Now with chenille yarns, look how easy that was. It was like, I just pulled it. Some of the chenille yarns are hard to do that with, to close up your ring. So if you have a chenille yarn, I'm making a ghost kitty, Deborah. Today we're making a kitty. It's a ghost, but it's a kitty, okay? If you can't pull that tight like that, you can do a chain 3 and join to make a hole to work into. And then you don't have to tighten anything up. All right? Okay. So we got our 6 single crochets in our magic ring. Now we're going to do increases. This is where I still use a stitch marker. There are people out there that don't use stitch markers and they just go, I still like to use a stitch marker. So we're going to increase in each of these stitches. So we're going to do 2 singles in each of those singles. So we're going to do 2 in that one right there, that first one. And then I'm going to put a stitch marker in my first stitch I just made. Okay, there's 2. Then we're going to do 2 in the next one. That gives us 4. 2 in the next one. That gives us 6. 2 in the next one. Gives us 8. 2 in the next gives us 10. And 2 in the last one gives us 12. Yeah, the chain 2 method works just fine. The one thing that can happen if you do like the chain 2 or chain 3, some do chain 2, some do chain 3, you might still have a little hole at the top. You might still have a hole here because it wouldn't tighten down like the magic ring does. But if you end up with a hole, you can always go through at the end and like kind of sew your little hole shut if you want. Like a magic ring, you can make that tight. So there is no hole in the center. But, you can always go back and sew it in if you have a hole. Okay. Now, the next round. This shouldn't take long. It's not that big. It should be easy. The next round is a single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, I'm going to mark that. That's my first stitch. And other people, they like to mark the last stitch of the round. I always like to mark the first stitch of the round so I know I made it back. And I made it all the way around. So it's 1 single crochet in the first stitch, an increase, which means 2 in the next stitch. And you do that all the way around. So the next one is a single. Next one is 2 singles. And amigurumi is like mostly single crochets. I mean, there's times when you do some other stitches, like if you're doing something, you're doing bobbles for feet, or I think I've done doubles or triples for ears, but most of the time it's just single crochets. I'm going to have to open this window up because it's hot. But I don't want to open the window up. I don't want to let any more pollen in my house, My allergies are nuts. Okay, I made it around. You should have 18 stitches now. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Single crochet in 2. Now I'm going to go back and mark that first one. And 2 singles in the next stitch. So we're doing 2 singles and then an increase. If I could keep my left eye open would be nice, but I can't. 2 singles, then an increase. 2 singles, then an increase. I think by the end of this round, we should have 24. I haven't really looked at the pattern, but I think it's 24. And I don't really count these at this point. As long as I come around and I've got 1, 2, and then 2 in this one, and as long as I got enough stitches to complete my pattern, 1, 2, and 2 in my last stitch, I know that that should be correct. Right? I could count them, but I mean, I've been doing this enough that I'm pretty sure that that's correct, you know? Sorry. When my nose starts dripping, you know, what do? You gotta blow it. Oh, it hasn't been this bad in years. This is first time in several years it's been this bad. There's something in the air out there, folks. Something's in the air. Okay, this round we do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go back and mark my first stitch, which is this one right there. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. So our little circle just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And this is how most heads will start. Lots of bodies will start this way. They just start with this circle. And they'll increase for a while. And then they'll stay the same for a while. And then they'll decrease. Oh, you made cinnamon. Man, you guys are always making yummy stuff. Making me hungry. I forgot what I just did there. Did I do 1 stitch or 2 stitches? Or what did I do? Oh, man, now I can't remember what I just did. That wasn't right. I know it wasn't right because, see, I don't have enough stitches now. I did something wrong back here. I'm going to go back to that. I missed something somewhere. One, 2, 3, double. 1, 2, 3, double. Okay. It's right up to that point. See, sometimes I can't talk. I can't talk and work sometimes, you guys. 1, 2, 3, and then the increase. Didn't have to take out the whole row, just part of it. 1, 2, 3, and the increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3. That is not right. Why is this wrong? Why is this wrong? Why is this wrong? Well, maybe I should count my stitches from the last round. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I'm going to go back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Increase. I should have 30 stitches when I'm done. So there's 5. Let's count them out like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go in that one. 11, 12, 13, then 14 and 15 go in this one. 16, 17, 18, and then 2 here. That makes 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Whew, that was rough. That was a rough one. Why was that so tough? I don't know. Okay, now here we're to the point where we're not going to increase anymore. This is going to be the top of the little guy's head. Now we're not going to increase. We're going to do rounds of 30 since we got 30 stitches, and we're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 8 rounds. Okay, that requires paper to write on, right? And hopefully I don't right, Stacy, why is it wrong? What did I do? Oh, okay. So we're going to go round and round, round and round. So see, some people would not stitch marker this every round. They would just go round and around. So like 30 stitches times, how many rows did I say we need? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8. We need 8 rounds. So they would do 30 stitches times 8, and they would just go round and round and round and never mark them. But I'm not that way. So we're gonna stitch marker every time. All right. And that's okay. It's just a step that I like to do so I know where my round is. Now, I'm not going to count these because I know there's 30, but I am going to keep track of each round and where each round is. All right, so now I can talk, right? Now I can talk. Yeah. So yesterday I did 4 shops. There's only 7 shops in this little shop hop. And I did 4 of them yesterday because I knew that I had less time today and I wanted to get it all done. The shops are normally not open on Sunday, but they are going to be open on Sunday this weekend for shop hop. And I love this one. I love this local one because they all have the same hours, you know, and the hours are posted in the booklet and everybody's open those hours. I love that about it. So I did the 4 shops yesterday, and I did the ones that were furthest away from me. Furthest one being about an hour and 20 minutes probably. But I stopped at the one that's an hour away first, and then another 20 minutes to the other one, and then started heading back home that way. But so I got those 4 done yesterday, and I decided to just go ahead and stop at my local shop on the way home so I wouldn't have to worry about going back out. You know what I mean? Because I knew I was going to do these 3 today. So again, I went out to the furthest one, and then I worked my way back towards home. But man, East Lansing, bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Their parking is nuts. Parking ramp right across from the shop was full. So I'm driving around. And so many of these parking lots and stuff will be like permitted. You can't park there unless you have a permit. Like the police station's right there. You can't park in the police station parking lot. Don't do that. But the city offices are right there too. And you can park there because, you know, you might need to go into the city offices, you know, to go, I don't know, pay your taxes or go, you know. Oh, I do need to write down that I did 1 round. Remind me, you guys, to write these down. That was 1. I'm on round 2. So you could park there. They don't have meters. And they didn't even have, like, I don't know if you guys have the little machines you go up to and you put your card into them and all that kind of stuff to pay for your parking. They didn't have that either. No. City of East Lansing apparently uses an app. So you have to go to download this app and then put in your information for your parking spot and all that stuff. I never got that far. I never got that far because I could never get the app to download. And I thought I had the app downloaded, or I was at the point to download the app, but then I realized, no, it's verifying my credit card. And I'm like, okay, That's fine. And I'm going to have to pay with my credit card. But then when I looked at it further, I'm like, no, this is not that app. It is something else. It was like some ad blocker app. I'm like, oh my God, what did I just sign up for? Right? What did I just sign up for? Or I didn't sign up for it. I guess I don't think I ever downloaded it. They're asking for my credit card information though. So now I'm all worried. I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? So I tried it again and it took me to some other thing that wasn't parking related. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I hope I don't have like my personal information all over the world and people just start taking money out of my account. You know what I mean? Oh God. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to go into my phone and see if I have any weird apps in there. See if I don't know what so at that point, I gave up. I just gave up and I said, forget it. If it's that hard to get the app to pay for this parking, I'm not doing it. I'm done with this. So I just left my car there and I just walked about a block over to the store and said, you know, what's the worst that will happen? They'll give me a ticket. They'll give me a ticket. And I would go fight that ticket. I would be like, hey, listen. I tried to pay for parking. And this app kept doing all this weird stuff. And I'm not about that. You know what I mean? Anyhow, that was that shop. Parking was a nightmare. Okay. It's a very nice store. They got a lot of stuff in there. And they have, I don't know how recent, but since I've been there, they have started hand dyeing their own yarn. And they had some beautiful yarn. It was one base. It's a Tweety yarn. They had it in about 30 colors, I swear. And that was their shop hop pattern was made with that yarn. I mean, why wouldn't it be? You know, why wouldn't they use their own yarn in the pattern and promote it? So I got a couple hanks of it. You'll see it later. It's gorgeous, though. It's so pretty. And the two colors I got, they're supposed to be very contrasting colors. And you could have high contrast or you could have low contrast. But I picked two that I thought went together really nicely. And yeah. So got out of there. Then I headed down the road into Old Town Lansing, which is like 10 minutes from there. And first of all, the road to the shop says road closed. And I'm like, really? What? Why is the road closed? I'm looking ahead and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this road. I can drive all the way down this road. The cross street, the next cross street was all torn up. And I'm like, I'm just going through. I don't care. You know, I'm just going through. I'm going down to the shop. There's nothing here to stop. There was a barricade. I just went around it. I'm just going to the shop. So I get down there. And because, you know, all this city parking, because it's on the city streets, there's a little lot right outside of her shop. It has like 5 spots. And you have to pay to park there. But she has paid for parking to reserve those spots. She's got 4 spots reserved for this whole shop hop weekend. Well, when I get there, I can't get into this lot because there are people, workers out in the road with cones and barricades doing something, and they have the entrance to the parking lot blocked. I'm like, oh my goodness. Why is this so hard? Why is parking such an ordeal? You know what I miss? I will just be honest. I miss the days when you pulled into a parking spot somewhere and you walked up and you put coins in it and you decided how much time you needed based on how many coins you put in. I miss that. Why can't we go back to simpler times? It was so simple that way, right? So I look across the street and there are parking spots on the street across the road. There's no sign to tell you what parking spot number you're in, or I don't see any way to pay to park there. And I'm like, I'm just going in. I'm just going into the shop. It's right across the street. I'm not going to be there that long. If the parking meter maid, and I believe they still have the parking meter maids that drive around town giving out the tickets, they have to catch me. They don't have any other way to know I was there, right? So I parked. I went into the store. And then another lady that had kind of been following my same course, she came in and she was like telling the owner, she's like, where are we supposed to park? I thought there was parking in the lot, but we can't get into the lot. The owner was like, what? What do you mean you can't get in the lot? And she explained, yeah, there's cones out and they're doing something out there. And the owner, she just gets up and she goes out there, and she's like, no, I paid to have these spots open. You are hampering my business and blah, blah. Well, I don't think they moved right away. I think you could make a move if you wanted to get in. And I was just like, I'm just staying where I'm at. I'm not going to be here that long. I'm just staying where I am. You know, when I got out, the guys were moving the cones out of the way so people could get in there. And I'm like, I did not get a ticket there. I don't know what's going on with the East Lansing parking. That one makes me nervous. You know, I forgot to bring polyfill in here. Of all things, we're going to have to stuff this little kitty, and I forgot the polyfill. I have to go get that. Anyhow, parking nightmares. And now I'm really like nervous about whatever these other apps were that were coming up when I was trying to get the parking app. It was clear as day. Parking app. I'm looking right at this sign. I see the logo for the parking app. I'm looking at my phone. Yep, that's the logo for the parking app. Why is it taking me to something else? What? People. I was ready to come home. And then my allergies are going crazy. So my brain is fuzzy and foggy. And, you know, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for that. I'm ready to go home. And I only did 3 shops. The first shop was fine. It's just in a little small town. You know, you just park out on the road. There's no parking fees in these little small towns to park on the street. You just park on the street. So why can't it all be like at least Lansing's just bizarre? I don't know why this little section of Old Town has such a parking issue. It's not even, I don't know. It's not even like the main part of downtown Lansing. But I guess it's all about making money. We're going to make some money on parking, you know. It's round 6. We're getting there. Look, it's going to be a little bit bigger than I thought. It's not going to be a tiny little kitty ghost. Not a tiny kitty ghost. I had problems parking in Ann Arbor yesterday. Of course, another city. Parking in Ann Arbor was bizarre, difficult. You know, I think I've got a solution for next time. I'm never in these shops for very long. Maybe a half an hour, maybe in each shop. I think I just need a driver next year. Here, just drive me. Drop me off at the door. And then you can go, you know, I don't know, drive around. Drive around for half an hour. Go find a different place to park that's not, you know, congested. Go down the road, find a gas station. I don't know. I need a driver. I need a delivery person. Did I buy a bunch? What would a bunch be, Deborah? I mean, I will show you everything. I am like taking a little video of, well, I was until yesterday afternoon sitting out in front of the yarn garden right in my own little town here. And I was talking on the phone and I realized my phone was dead. Okay, my phone just died. Okay. So I couldn't even take any video at the yarn garden. And I mean, I'm not going back into town just for the sake of doing some filming. I'm not doing that. Anyhow. All right. So first store, Deborah. All I bought at the first store was a couple of little mini hanks. Yes, I did buy something at every store. I did. So I bought a couple of mini hanks at the first store. In Ann Arbor, I bought a button. I bought a button. One button. Now, it was a $4 button, but it was one button. It was a big button. It's for a project I'm going to work on. I am working on. I've actually barely started it, but enough to say I've started it. Right? I bought a button for that. Third store. Third store is under new ownership. That was interesting. I talked to the new owner for quite a while. They're quite a bit overwhelmed. And they just bought this store 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And then the previous owner, she was an older lady. She was, she wasn't able to keep up with the shop very well, really. She said, "Oh, by the way, you got this shop hop coming up in 3 weeks. You're all signed up to do it. So you have to do it." And they were like, "Oh, okay." Luckily, she had designed the patterns because, like I said, each store has a knit pattern and a crochet pattern. So she had designed the patterns. The patterns were all set to go. That is round 8. Okay. But they were overwhelmed. So anyhow, what did I buy from her? I bought some really pretty yarn from her that was a hand dyer that I had never heard of before. It was really pretty. And it was Mid-Michigan dyer. I asked her if she knew who it was, and she's like, "No, I really don't. I'm not familiar with everything that's in. There's so much in that store." The lady that owned the store was just like, "You think we're yarn hoarders?" She was a yarn hoarder, but she did it in multiples in her store. There's so much stuff in there, and it's really hard to find anything. You find a little bit of this, a couple of these, but there was other places in the store that had multiples of stuff, but I think that's all I bought there. And I swear I bought something else there. I don't know. I'd have to get my bag out. Okay, let's see what we do next. Attach the eyes between rows 12 and 13 with 4 stitches space between. With 4 stitches space between. That is what it says. It does not tell you what size eyes to use. But they used, like I told, they used those. Wait. Are those my noses? Look at you guys. Look at the eyes. Look at those eyes. Those are the noses I thought were noses, aren't they? Where are those little puppies at? Where are they? You put them in as eyeballs? Let's see. Look. They are. Look. They're the same eyes. Okay, we're using them. We are using them because I think they're super cute. That's why we're using them, because I like them. All right. Let's get a couple backs out here. I looked at them again. I thought they were noses. I really did. Are you going to go in here? Because you got a niblet on the end here. I'm going to cut it off. Okay. All right. So they go this way. Like that. Okay, let's put these in here and see what we think. Okay, it said they go where? Between rows 12 and 13. Okay. So there's row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, and there's 13. And they go 4 stitches apart. So there's that one. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't seem like much. It doesn't seem like much. Are they that close? You should be able to see 4 stitches. I'm going to move it over one more. 4 stitches doesn't necessarily mean 4 holes. You need to see 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 4 stitches between. Okay, well, look. Look at it. Hello, Emma. Hello, Emma. All right, well, let's do this. Okay? Okay. Last store, I only bought cotton, 3 of my coastal cottons. I know they have coastal cotton in 4-weight. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! 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 All right. Okay, we're good on that. I'm excited. I wondered how I was ever going to use those. Now I know. I thought they were noses. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue on our merry way. Now we're going to decrease. Decreases are coming. All right. We're doing good. We got ahead. Okay. So now we do 5 single crochets and 5 decreases. Okay, so let's do 5 single crochets. Here's 1. And a 2. And a 3. And a 4. And 5. And then you do 5 decreases. So I've been watching people do their invisible decreases. Is that how they did it? They go in the loop, pull through, and do a single crochet. Okay, that's different than what I've been doing, but I'm trying it. They go in that, okay, they go in the front loop of one stitch, come around and go in the front loop of the next stitch, pull through that, and then what? Pull through that, and then a single. Something like that. I don't like that. I'm going to do it the way I was doing it, which is different. But I'm going to do it the way I was doing it because I like it better. I'm going like this. I go in and pull up a loop, and in and pull up a loop, and I have 3 loops, and I go through all 3. I don't really like that better. It's wrong, or it's not what everybody else does, but there's 2 of them. There's 3. There's 4. And then there's 5. So we're only decreasing, like on this one side of the head over here, we decreased. And now we do 15 single crochets. And that should take us back to the beginning of the round. Let's see. See if it works out. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. All right. Now, next round, we do 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do 4 decreases. So here comes 1. Here comes 2. Here is 3. How did that get wrapped around my phone? Can someone explain? Okay, that was 3, right? Did I say 3? 4. And 5. And how many stitches should we have left? We should have 12 stitches left to single crochet. Let's see. Hopefully this works. 3, 4. That is nowhere near right. I must have done too many decreases back here. I'm going to go back and take out a decrease. Let's take out this little decrease right here and do 12 stitches. See, talking and counting, they don't go hand in hand. Yeah, that's exactly what I did because this worked out just fine. Okay. All right. Next row is 3 single crochets. Oh, this row's different. 3 single crochets. Let's do those first. 1, 2, 3. 3 single crochets and a decrease. And then you do that again. So you do 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. And then 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. And our last 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. Okay, that worked out. Okay, our head's getting smaller. Getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm ready to get that polyfill here in a minute. Okay, now we do just 4 single crochets and a decrease. So let's do that. 4 single crochets. 1, 2, let me mark this. 3, 4, and then a decrease. There's our decrease. And then we do 11 single crochets. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, we got us 11 now. Okay, there's our little head going. And then we do 2 rounds of 16. No, wait. No, just 1 round. 1 round of 16. Okay, so this should be 16. I am going to count them and make sure I've got 16. I'm pretty sure I do, but I'm going to count them. There's 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, voila, 15, and 16. Ta-da! There's our head. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Look at that. Okay, I need to go get polyfill. I shall return momentarily. Let's see how long it will take me. Not very long. You know, I regret not buying more polyfill at Joann's when they were going out of business, because one of the last times I was in there, the whole front of the store was just bin after bin after bin of pillow forms. I did get some of those. I haven't made any pillows yet, but pillow forms and polyfill, and I got a couple bags, but I should have got more. I should have got more. All right, we're going to stuff it. Okay, here's something I have learned within the last couple months of making these little plushy guys. Stuff them. Stuff them, stuff them, stuff them. Stuff them very firmly. I go back and I look at some of the things that I've made earlier, and I'm like, man, that is just way too squishy. Way too squishy. I mean, some people like them super squishy, I suppose, but I'm like, some of my things were like, whoa, no, that's too squishy. Now, I'll be able to add to this later, because I think we're going to move right on to the body, but okay. mean, you don't want to like stretch your stitches so much that they're, but you do want them to be fairly firm. So I think I'm going to stop right there for now. I think we're probably going to, no, I'm not going to keep going. It's amazing how much polyfill you can actually stuff in these little things. You know what I mean? I had to unstuff them before, and I take it out, and I'm like, holy cow, that was a lot. There's a lot in there. Okay. I have a feeling we're going to increase now. So let's see. Make our body. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know. Am I right or am I wrong? No, we're still decreasing. Really? Do we make the head separate? What are we doing? Oh, no. I know. Oh, I know what's happening. We're decreasing down for the body, for the rest of the body. That's why it's decreasing weirdly. You know what I mean? Like not just normal decreases. Like do 4 and a decrease, do 4 and a decrease. I mean, okay, hang on. All right, we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1. This is where it gets a little hard to, I got to hold it up against me sometimes. 3. There's our 3 single crochets. And 3 decreases. Okay, now 3 decreases. There's 1. No, that was not a decrease. That was a single crochet, Mindy. There's 1. And there's 2. And there's 3 decreases. And then 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have 2 stitches left and we do another decrease. Okay. Whoa. I don't know what we got going on there, but hey. Okay. Next row is 12 single crochets. Okay, 12 single crochets. Hopefully we got 12 stitches, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have a feeling the decreases they're supposed to do that. The decreases are all like on one side. So it's making it swoop. See, the magic of stitches, the things that you can do. All right, now we do 2 single crochets. 2 single crochets. 1, 2. I'm going to mark this. I know we're down to just a few stitches, but I'm still marking. 1, 2, 3 decreases. I got room for that many? Okay, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. There is 1. It's getting to be little tiny stuff here. There is 2. Okay. Trying to keep my finger in the hole so I can find the stitches. And 3. that what it was? 3 decreases? Mm-hmm. And then there should be 4 stitches left for 4 single crochets. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay. Wow, what is this thing supposed to look like when it's done? It's not getting a curve on its tail, is it? It's like, I don't see a curve. We got to like sew its little arms on separate. Oh, Lord. Okay. I got to stuff the guy because pretty soon I'm not going to have a big enough hole to put anything in. So we're going to do a little more stuffing here. I got that much of a hole. Look, I got a finger hole. We're going to just shove it in here. Firm up his little tail here. It actually went in further than I thought it was going to go in. That's okay. We'll keep stuffing until we're firm. We want a firm tail here. Yeah, this is weird. It's just kind of strange. I don't know. It might be too much. Okay, see how much I have? And I'm thinking it might be too much, but you watch, it'll go in there. You watch. Okay, that went in there. Okay. It's better start looking like a little ghosty tail here. He's got a bigger head than anything. All right. I think that's stuffed enough. Let's go for this is our last round. Single crochet, decrease 3 times. Okay. Single crochet. Sorry, I have to hold it up against my my female parts. And decrease. Single crochet. And a decrease. And a single crochet. And a decrease. I don't know. It looks goofy if you ask me, but okay, I'm gonna play with our stuffing here. So here's the other thing you can do: squeeze them, squish them, move things around. Okay, so he doesn't really look like the picture a whole lot because he's supposed to get like a little curled up tail at the end, and he's not curling much. What in the world? It kind of looks like a balloon. Okay. I'm going to finish this off and see what happens if we play with it a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Ooh, I got fuzzies that time. And what's it say to do? Finish off and hide your thread. It didn't get like what I would consider a real like swoosh. It just kind of went like a sideways cone. It didn't like dip in here. Like I feel it should have done like this. You know what I'm saying? It should have done more of this, like like that. And it didn't really do that. How come it didn't do that? I don't know. It didn't do it. It didn't do it. How come? I mean, I suppose you can tell he's a ghost anyhow, but today's not my day, you guys. And look at all them decreases here. Look at all them holes. And this is like such a small hook I'm using right now. But look at all them holes from the decreases. I don't like them. Well, it is what it is. We're gonna sew this up. These last few holes here. We're gonna sew them together, and we're gonna move on. Maybe it'll look cuter when we get ears and stuff. Thank you. Sherry says it's cute. Sherry, it's okay. It's just not, what I was expecting it to look. Yeah, I expected it to be more of a little curve on the end, like my other one. Right, Deborah? It really is. It really, truly is. Oh, goodness. Anyhow, it is what it is. We'll keep going with the little guy and see what happens. I don't like these holes. The back side looks better. Maybe I should put the eyes on the other side. What do you think? Okay. There's people that don't use the backs for the safety eyes and they just glue the eyes in. I don't know how I'd get these out. You have to cut the backs off to get them off. But, I mean, if I got them off, I could put them on the back and glue them in. Back looks better. But it still doesn't do that. It still doesn't do the real little swoop here. Well, it does it a little more on the back. Well, it's kind of doing it now. Okay. Move on, Mindy. Move on. Let's make ears. Gosh. Let's make ears. Okay. Let's just do that. Okay. Ears should be easy and simple. Let's see. We make a magic ring. Da-da. Of course, we make a magic ring. And this one starts with 5 single crochets. So we got 1. Oh, no, we don't. Both my loops just came off the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull our loop, tighten this puppy up here. Okay. Then do increases. So we'll have 10. Okay, 10. We want 10. This is a little tiny, tiny little thing. 1 and 2. There's 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we got a little round circle here. Now we do a single crochet and an increase, so we'll end up with 15. I'm not going to use the stitch marker this time. Ooh, look at me going rogue. A single crochet and an increase. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, and 14, and 15. All right. And fasten that puppy off. It's just a little round little thing here. Look at that. A little round little wobby-doo. They said that they paint the insides of the ears. I'm not painting the inside of my ear. I will use some blush, like real blush, and put blush inside my ear, but I'm not painting it. Okay? So I'm assuming this little ear is going to go like this when it's, I don't know. No, I don't know how. I don't know how. Finish off and leave a tail for sewing. Okay. All right, let's make another one. Just. Okay, it was 5 to start with, right? All righty. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tighten up our little circle here. Tighten you up. Come on. Tighten up. Tighten up. Okay, then we increase. Watch, I'm going to try to do this without a stitch marker. That may come back to bite me in the butt, just so you know. Okay, but I'm going to try it. All right. There's 1 and 2. And then there's 3 and 4. Then there's 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8. And then 9. It worked out. 9 and 10. Okay, now we do a single crochet and an increase. We'll end up with 15. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15. And I'm right back to where my yarn was. Okay. I'm going to do a slip stitch into the next one and then pull through. Okay. We got 2 little things. Look, 2 little things. We're going to sew those on somewhere and make them look like ears. I don't know how they're going to look like little pointy kitty ears, but okay. Ah, goodness. I guess it just says sew them on. Sew them on between rows 3 and 6 of the body. Sew them on between rows 3 and 6. Lord help us. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my short tail. I'm going to weave my short tail in. Now, I'm assuming the back side stays on the back, and then the nicer side is going to be the inside of the ear, right? Isn't that your assumption? Wouldn't that be what you would do, right? Okay, so we wove that one in, got it out of the way. Okay, how do we make this look like an ear? They're just round. How do you put it on the cat and make it look like an ear? I'm looking at the picture, and the picture it's pointy at the top and wide at the bottom. How does that happen? It'd be nice if there was more directions for this, right? Guess, free pattern. How do you make this pointy? How do you make it pointy? And it comes in like the, I don't know. Okay, where's rounds? First of all, let's find between round 3 and 6. So it takes up 3. Oh, because it goes this way. 1, 2, 3, and 6. So it starts like here. It starts here. And then what? And then it goes into the next round. Okay, and into the ear. and then into the next round, and into the ear. Looks more like a mouse. Does it look like a mouse? Yeah. I think you got to like pinch this more closed. How do you do that? I don't know. How do you make this look right? How do you make this look like a kitty ear and not a mouse ear? Okay, if people think it's a mouse, then we'll just call it a mouse. It can be a mouse ghost, not a kitty ghost. How do you make the ear look right? I would think you'd have to fold this ear a little bit or something. Don't you have to fold it a little bit or something at the top? How do you do this? I'm taking it out just in case you're wondering. So this stays flatter against its head, but this needs to go pointy. Okay. You flatten it out more stitches at the bottom. Does that make it pointier if you flatten out the stitches? Like if you do more stitches from the ear. I don't know. Okay, let's try something. Going into the head, going into the ear. Going into the head, going into the ear. That's 1, 2, 3. That's row 3, and that's row 6. What if we grab one more stitch here and really make the bottom flat? It still does not make... I'm going to do this. Okay, look. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. What this is, you may never know. I'm just going to sew this up kind of along the back kind of. I'm going to make this look like a cat ear, okay? I'm going to make it look like a cat ear one way or another. We're looking like a cat ear somehow. But we're not looking like a cat ear. Okay. Hang on. Now I'm gonna sew this across the back of the ear. That's what I'm doing. I'm sewing it across the back of the ear to like draw it in. I'm going to come across another row of the ear to pull that in. Except you see that thread I just wove through the whole back, which we don't want to see the whole thing. Am I making any sense? Maybe I need to go find somebody else's like tutorial that's like, here's how to turn these circles into cat ears. I mean, it's looking a little better, but I'll show you here in just a second. It's looking a little better, a little more cat-like. I wish I had more yarn. Okay. We're going with this. Tell me what you think. I'm just putting this. Oh, I tried to put my end in, but it didn't work. I'm just going to try to hide this end inside here somewhere. Go in there. Okay. It is a little more cat-like, I will say. What do you think? It still looks a little mouse-like, but it's a little more cat-like. You got a little more pointy. And I think if you wanted it more pointy, take some yarn and go across the back of it and pinch it in. Like, that's what I was doing. I was going across the back of the ear, going across and like drawing it in more to make it a little more pointy. It's not bad. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, we're going to go with that. Not bad. Let's tuck this tail in over here. Now, here's the hard part. As if that wasn't hard. Here's the harder part. Hard. Okay, come on, go in there. Try and poke the tail in with my scissors. Hardest part is getting the two ears in the same place. You know what I mean? Like to get them lined up with each other properly. Pinch it some more, right, Sherry? I know. Pinch it some more. Sew it up some more on the back. Sew it up some more on the back. But I ran out of yarn. I ran out of yarn. If I had a longer piece of yarn, I could have kept going. I don't think I have any more yarn on this one than I did on the first one either. This was my short tail. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, wait. I'm leaving the short tail. Hang on. Maybe I can use the yarn on the short tail. Now that I just wove it through a little bit. Maybe I can use the short piece to do some more sewing on the back. Okay, so it was between rounds 3 and 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 3. So way down here. Did it start way down there? It might. Yeah, okay. Okay, now we're going the reverse of what we did the first time. Okay. Let's make our base wide. Make the base wide. Go over several stitches. Make our base of the ear wide. Come all the way over here. Okay, there's that. Oh, they're actually in good alignment with each other. Now, let's see if we can cinch this up here on the back. Got it showing inside the ear. We don't want it to like be obvious inside the ear what we did here. Hang on. I'm still pinching and sewing, okay? Maybe if I just put it right through here like this. You guys love watching this stuff, don't you? The craziness that is me trying to figure out stuff, right? Nope, I didn't like that stitch. That stitch just did something weird. I didn't like that. How do I get it out now? How do I get that one out? Sorry, I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just over here trying to figure out where that, there we go, where that last stitch went through because it just bunched it up and made it look all weird. Bunched it and made it look weird. What do we work on next time, you guys? What should I do next time? Okay, I'm going back out to the back of the ear again because I'm on the inside of the ear. It's really up at the top where it needs to be more pointy-ish, right? How do we make it more pointy? You got to go all the way over here and come through like that. And then like this. It keeps bunching up this one side. I don't like it. Okay. I'm just going to sew it through here like this. It didn't really help, but oh my gosh, you guys. I need a video tutorial how you turn little round circles into pointy cat ears. How do you do that? The ghost kitty with a cape and the pumpkin. Is it a kitty or was it a dog? Oh, did you send it to me just now? Well, I still think it looks more like a bunny or a mouse. Does it matter what it looks like? If somebody wants to buy it, are they going to care? Are they going to go, oh, it was supposed to be a kitty? Oh, okay. Right? I don't think they're going to care. Do you? If it's cute, it's cute. It's not horrible. I'm done fussing with it, so I'm cutting off these strings and we're just calling it. We're calling it right here. It's got to have some little paws. Whatever animal you want to call it with his little paws, we make little paws. Little feetsies. His little feetsies come out right here, like right under his eyeballs, like right here. Little feet. Which are just, they're little. How are they so little? Yeah, I just don't know how they made them pointy. I mean, they're going over 3 rows at the base, which I did. I crocheted them in, or I sewed them in along 1, 2, 3 rows here. They're actually placed nicely with each other. I like the placement of them with each other. I just don't know how to make them pointy at the top, like this. How do you make them pointier? I guess they're really not pointy on the picture. Let me show you the picture. They're really not that pointy. Maybe it's just a weird angle. They look more pointy than mine. But anyhow, he needs a nose, which he's got like a little doot doot nose, like a, two little you know what? Hang on. I'm kind of done messing with this. So where is that one box? And I could do this. I could glue it in. What does a bunny nose look like? Blue. Oh, blue. I need your nose. Oh, hang on. Oh, you know what? This could be cute. You tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, what you really, really think. If you like this, or if you would prefer the problem is I don't have the right amount of stitches here. Where do I put it? I can't put it there. That's not even from that one. I don't have the right amount of stitches between my eyes. Unless I go down here, but what do you think? He looks like a weird turnip. We got a little plastic nose. We got a pink nose. And I could glue it in because people do that all the time. I know they glue them in there. Or we could give it a brown nose if you don't like the pink. If the pink is too stark, what if we give it a little brown nose? Or we could do a black nose. I have black noses. We could just give it a little black nose, a little button nose. That's not bad. Except it's not really centered. I mean, give it a black nose. What do you think, people? What do you think? Then I have a textured nose that has like lines in it. I'll show you that one too. This reminds me of a dog's nose. It's got nostrils. Anybody got a comment? Comment out there. Comment, folks. We got the plain black nose. We got the nostril nose. Which way does it go? Nostrils go down. No, that looks funny on the bunny. That looks goofy on the bunny. I don't think I like that one. This little plain one, though, like I said, I could give him a little button nose like this. It's just closer to one eye than the other because of the numbers of stitches. I don't have. It's not bad, though. It's not bad. No, it's not. I got one whole stitch and one whole. That's not bad. What do you think? Nobody's saying anything. Come on. What do you think? Tell me. Speak. And he needs his little feet. This one, the plain black one like this, right? That's what I left in there. And then I don't have to try to embroider that little double loopy nose thing. I'm going to leave this in there. I'll glue this in. I got glue I can glue it with. Then he needs his little feet and he needs blush. Feet and blush. And I'll put blush in his ears and put blush under his eyes. This is all so close together. Like the blush goes right here under his eyes, and then here's his little feet right here. It's all super close together. I just wish his tail did more like my other ghosty did. It's not bad. It looks kind of like a weird turnipy carrot thing without a real hook at the bottom. Like it should have had a real. I wonder if I could make it do that. Like if I could sew it up and make it do that, or should I just stop messing with it? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. I'll show you what I come up with when I'm done, because I don't really know. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what Sherry sent. Let's see. Halloween ghost. Oh my goodness. Wow. I've seen bears like this. Does it have the pattern? It does. This is done in like worsted weight yarn, or no, DK weight yarn. I don't know if I have white DK weight, but it looks like that. It's super cute. But I don't think I have any white DK weight yarn, or black DK weight yarn for that matter. You have to have all these colors. There's a gray. There's an orange for the pumpkin. I don't know what I would make this with. Oh, look at there. There's all your pieces and your parts. Oh boy. So you make a head. You put the head in the sheet. Then you got to put on ears, and you got to put on the centers of the ears. Then you got to make these little arms that stick out. You got a tail. What is that part right there? What's that? Is that legs? That's his legs that come out from under the sheet. Oh boy. He's cute. I just don't know that I have the stuff to make it with. Let me show you any color kit. I know, but I don't have like that little, I don't have DK yarn like that. I mean, my DK weight yarn is all like hand-dyed yarn and all that kind of stuff. You could, I suppose you could use like this little thin plush yarn. Let me show you this other thing. Okay, here's the Boo Bear. And the Boo Bear is made with a plushy yarn. What's it made with? He's called Loso. Let's see what he's made out of. Oh, it's made out of burlap blanket, which is big, thick yarn. So you could certainly make it out of this yarn here, this smaller yarn, for sure. Okay, the more I look at it, it's getting better. It's getting better, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, because the bear is you really make the white part and you just add on a few little brown pieces here and there to make the bear. And then, like, you put on bobbles on top of the white for its ears. Put another bobbly thing on it for its nose. And then the bottom, you do a bottom for it. I don't know. I kind of want to make a turtle. Kind of want to make a turtle. We make a little mini kitty, mini chunky cat. Cat. I'm going to make a cat. I'm going to make a pumpkin cat. I just found a pattern for a pumpkin cat. I'm going to make him. It won't have, see the little chunky cats? The little chunky cats are cute. They're itty bitty little things. I don't know what I'm going to do next time, you guys. I have no idea. I feel like I don't want to do amigurumi. I don't know. I'll come up with something. If you guys have some suggestions, let me know. How about a bear? How about is that a bear? No, that's a bunny. How about a bunny and a pumpkin? Bunny and a pumpkin? How about an acorn? Want to make an acorn? That'd be easy. I'm looking for easy right now. Because everything else in my life is difficult. So easy. Easy seems good. See, here's another bear like that other one. But he's a little more, he's got bigger arms, bigger ears, and he's got more leg than the other one did. He's a little bit more bear than the other one. But how about a corn? Would you like to make a corn? We could make a corn. Okay. How about a strawberry turtle? How about I show you the strawberry turtle? That's cute. That's cute. I don't know. These are things that are kind of on my list of I'd really like to make. Okay. I really think we should make this. What's this made out of? Parfait chunky. It's Pikachu. Hi, Mary Lou. Now you know. Some little kid would love the Pikachu. Love the little Pikachu. You know they would. And it's Loso. Loso. It doesn't say no-so. It says Loso. You probably have to sew on its tail. What else do you have to sew on? You make the body. Nope, the tail is crocheted in. Move right onto the head. So the tail, the body, you probably have to sew the ears in. Let's see. Yep, you sew on the ears. That's it. You sew on his ears. Guys, you're sewing his ears. He uses, oh, this person put them funky eyeballs on him too. See, look at the funky eyeballs. Hang on, I can't make this blow up. Hang on. See the funky eyeballs there? It's only got one dot below, but still, you know. Not saying you have to do the funky eyeballs, but. And there's a few color changes. There's a color change for his butt. See, because he gets these little brown lines on his butt. And then there's a color change for his cheeks, and that's it. They hadn't bloomed yet, Sherry. As of yesterday, I went out there. They hadn't bloomed. I'm going to go out there like right now and see if they're blooming. They're so close. Have you noticed if anyone is crocheting Wednesday? Wednesday? What? I don't know what you're referring to, Mary Lou. Anyone crocheting Wednesday? More info, please. I think I'm going to make the Pikachu. I think the Pikachu would be adorable and it would sell like that. Be gone. Boom. Done. Pikachu. 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 Then I want to work on this bag. A scarecrow. Oh. I've seen some people have patterns for Wednesday. A scarecrow. I don't have a scarecrow pattern. That is something I don't have. So. All right. I'm going to finish up this guy. Going to make his little arms. Give him some blush. And you can call it whatever you want. Call him whatever you want. Okay, he can be a kitty. I mean, his ears aren't like the picture, but, you know, he can be a kitty. All right. We'll finish that guy up. And then I think I'm going to make Pikachu. I've got yellow, and I've got some red, and I know I have black, and that's all you need. We'll make Pikachu. And then after that, I want to work on, like, I started those pumpkin squares at the retreat, and I want to make something with the pumpkin squares. But I have to make 2 more. So maybe I can show you guys how to make the pumpkin squares. And then we'll figure out together. Because this is all, after the pumpkin squares, putting it together to make a bag or a little pouch out of it. That's going to be all on me to figure out how to do that. So that'll be interesting. Watch Mindy figure out how to turn these squares into a pouch. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that after Pikachu. Pikachu might take a couple weeks. He could be a little complicated. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. I will let you guys go. I don't have a scarecrow pattern. I really don't have a scarecrow pattern. A scarecrow would be cute, but I don't have one. I do not have one. I do not have one. So, anyhow. Okay, where are we at here? What am I doing? I'm in Pinterest, but it's just going crazy all over the place. And I don't really want to do these little things in like worsted weight yarn. I just don't. I don't want to do that. Lots of things are in worsted weight. They're cute enough, but you know. I really think I would like to make these. However, I think the only way to make those is to buy a pattern. I think the only way to make those is a pattern. Yep. A $3.50 pattern. I like them, but Then I can't really do them with you guys either. But they're cute. Okay, I'm done rambling. I'm letting you go. I'll see you next week or whenever. Another live, another time, another day. I'm going to go out and see how Dale's doing with the tulip fortress. And, oh, don't you love them? I love zinnias so much. Save some seed, Mary Lou. Save seeds. Go out there and find one of your flowers that's like dead, but it's not like the petals aren't gone. Pull the petals off, and the seeds are attached to the petals. Save some seeds and plant them next year. Yeah. That's fun to do. All right. I will see you guys soon. Bye.